We're going to start with your book, What Matters Next. I think it, correct me if I'm wrong, it came out in the very beginning of this year. There it is, What Matters Next. I'm going to leave it to you to kind of give us on the main idea and really the thesis. But I just, knowing you for many years and following you and reading your books, just some broad strokes. You're saying, look, instead of trying to predict the future, we're not telepathic here. We can do our level best. Get prepared. And then what are you going to prepare for? Are you going to prepare for a doomsday kind of, negative, apocalyptic, killer robot type thing? Or are you going to say, hey, how can I prepare, be ready to enhance my experience as a human being in this world of digital oversaturation? So it's kind of a word salad. I'll have you, the smarter one of us, to land that plane.
I like a word salad personally. I'm a vegan, so
Okay.
it appeals to my my sense of salad rightness for meals. But no, I think you did a really good job of beginning to describe the book concept. I'll just take it back to a little bit of the origin story because I've been working in the space that I describe as the intersection of four main topics, which is tech, humanity, business, and the future. And I've been speaking in that space, like working in that space as an analyst and a consultant and advisor for a lot of years. I've been working in the technology space for 30 years. And over the course of all that time, especially in the last few years, what I've noticed in speaking more and more with executives and leadership audiences is that increasingly you'd hear from people how daunted they feel by the future, the uncertainty about the future, and how hard it is to make decisions about the future. And some of the factors are, things just feel like they're changing all the time. And, you can't get a bearing on where things are going to be tomorrow, let alone in a year, 5 years, whatever. And that there are all these change factors like climate change and geopolitical upheaval, not to mention tech and AI, that really feel like they're just too big and complex and, wicked problems to try to get your head around, let alone combining them and trying to understand those implications. So before your listeners are tuning out like, oh my gosh, you just made me so freaked out describing this situation. That's what I was feeling or hearing from people is that they are freaked out about it. And so I
Yeah.
thought, what I feel like I can do in this situation is really synthesize this, kind of put together a model that looks at the landscape and tries to help us understand in a very human-centric way, very like natural, organic way from the way we typically cognitively comprehend our surroundings and time and everything, that there is this continuity of time from what we've understood in the past to what we can sort of anticipate about the future. And that the more we use these tools to inform how we think about these trends and trajectories and inform how we make decisions, the better those decisions are likely to be. And as a bonus, the less uncertain the future feels or the less scary that uncertainty feels. So it is not so much about, like you said, it's not about predicting the future. It's about really trying to anticipate what we can take inventory of in terms of possible futures and then prepare for what we think are the most likely or the most damaging or, the scenarios within that range that really leave us the most exposed and give us the most opportunity.